الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We are reaching the third day of Ramadan. And yesterday and the day before yesterday, we have been talking about this very special relationship through history that the last messenger, the Prophet ﷺ, had, of course, with Ibrahim alayhi salam, Abraham. And we got the very essence of this message, meaning that we are following in the footsteps of Millata Abina Ibrahim, so the tradition of our father Ibrahim alayhi salam. And what we are trying to do is to get this sense through history, this acknowledgement, this testimony that there is one God, that we are trying to enter in His peace, and the way we have to do this has to be done through our behavior, our consciousness, and the way we deal with ourselves, with God, of course, with ourselves, and with the people around us. Now there is something else that is very important when we come to the Prophet, the Messenger, ﷺ himself. He was born and raised in the desert, and we know through what Amina and then Halima, who was looking after him, that he was first fatherless and then he was an orphan. And he went through something which is a kind of the desert is sending something which is not having anything to look at the world around. So what we got with Ibrahim alayhi salam and this very deep relationship with time, this is where, when it comes to the desert, there is a really specific and special relationship with space, with the desert, where you experience the fact that you don't have, that there is a space where richness is not in what you have, it can only be in who you are. And while we are fasting, it's as if through this experience of fasting, we are coming back with to this very essential, intimate experience of not having or not eating, not drinking, and trying to be. So this is the experience where we need to understand that this is where the messenger, peace be upon him, was raised, the way he was understanding and had to understand this. And this is why when it comes to Surah Al-Duha, we understand the very essence of the verses. ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. So this is where what we have here, did he find you an orphan and he gave you a shelter? So this is, he found you an orphan and then you were wandering and he gave you a refuge and then he protected you. And this is why you were wandering, you were poor, and he gave you all this. Through this experience, what you have to do now is, you should not repel the orphan, you should not reject the poor, because you went through this experience. So the experience of the desert for the Prophet ﷺ was very essential. And this is why now, while we are fasting and we go through the same experience, not drinking, not eating. This experience of not having and thinking about the very essence should be translated into the good deed of caring for the poor, giving from our time, all what we have. This is the very experience where the Prophet was in the desert to give. We are fasting to give. We are fasting to be people who show solidarity by essence, insha'Allah. And remember, never forget to tell the people you love that you love them, insha'Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.